Welcome back once again, guys. You're listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. I'm Uncle Catfish. With me is
Uncle Buck here.
What day is it, man?
1, 2, 3. It's day 7, Catfish. Already.
It went by quick.
Friday. Yeah.
Went by really quick. We're in the outdoor product hall.
Yep.
So we're going to start here this morning and walk around and try to talk to as many people as we can. And the buzz in here for a Friday is getting booming.
Yes. The parking lot was twice as packed as it was yesterday at 9:30 when we rolled in here. The halls are already packed with people. It's just not a bottleneck up in the gun hall. There's people in every hall right now.
And that's really good. That's really good for the National Rifle Association to get all these people in here and get to meet everybody. They have we got to meet somebody actually this morning that we dearly love.
Near and dear to our hearts, Miss Alana America.
She was so excited when you opened the door. Buck!
What a great surprise that was. I was wondering if we were ever going to get to see her. She's a good friend. She works with the NRA. Great to see her. She's a huge gun enthusiast. Her special soft spot in her heart is our AKs.
I know. I keep telling her I'm going to arm wrestle her over the AR platform versus AK one day. And she just jokes and laughs and says, "I'll win."
Yeah. and she has her own podcast as well. And I believe she's switched her handle. Instead of Alana America, she's Mrs. Semi-Automatic now.
She is actually, yes.
Mrs. Dot Semi-Automatic.
I believe you can even go find her. Guess what she did? She started a little podcast.
Yeah.
Which it might be little, but I think it's going to grow quick. So Good for her.
It's her and her friend. They just sit there and talk about guns all day long. There's no guests, but there's plenty of content with wherever Alana's around. She's
just a bundle of positive energy.
Yes.
She's always smiling. She's always upbeat. I love her.
Yep. Always in the know. Hey, speaking of in the know, let's hit these floors. Let's go learn some more about these great people here that have come into town.
Yeah, let's go talk to some people. Let's hit it.
Alrighty, Catfish. And we are still in the outdoor product hall. Uncle Catfish and Uncle Buck here with you. We have with us in booth 4212 from the NWTF is Ralph Martone. Ralph also happens to be president.
Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board of the Pennsylvania Outdoor Writers Association. So we're doubly blessed, Catfish, to have Ralph with us today.
We killed two birds with one stone here. That's great.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Did you
two
like
birds. We're talking turkey over here. I'm liking it. All right. Ralph, tell us about the NWTF, specifically the NWTF Stony Valley chapter.
Okay, Stony Valley is one of our premier chapters. We've got great volunteers across the state, and Stony Valley is a perfect example of that. Our volunteers at Stony Valley do a fantastic job year-round, on top of the fact that they have their banquet coming up on March 2nd. But that isn't where the story ends with Stony Valley and all our other 83 chapters across the state. We're involved in most of the youth activities that come our way. We don't hesitate to jump in with 2 feet.
I've seen the Stony Valley chapter out at Kinsey's when they do their spring.
We like going to help the kids there.
Their spring opener for the kids, as well as the Jake's Day later on in the summer that they had at I think the Middletown Gun Club.
Yes, and where I took the kids fishing. Ryan attempted to teach them archery.
Right.
Since
hey, I was on the archery.
I said,
they'll
never shoot archery again, right after that.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. The kids loved that day.
Yeah, and they also do a Women in the Outdoors event. Abby Shireman is in charge of that. She really does a beautiful job with the women. So, that's the NWTF in Pennsylvania and across the country is all about outreach. We reach out to kids and youth events, women's events, wheel-in sportsmen for the handicap. That's our main focus when we talk about save the habitat, save the hunt. Save the habitat, is part of that, but save the hunt is what we do for the women, the kids, the wheel-in sportsmen, and the adult members support all that, and we're always happy to.
And it's not just an organization. Every one of these guys in this booth, I would imagine, because knowing Steve Shireman and Abby, you guys are just as addicted as the rest of the Pennsylvania turkey hunters out here. It's a couple weeks before turkey season, and when you run into Steve, his eyes are twinkling. Like he's ready to go. They just don't talk turkey hunting. They are turkey hunters.
Yeah, he fits the NWTF mold very well.
Yeah.
We start getting excited with this show, and it just builds right up till that spring gobbler opener.
Right.
I had a volunteer come in this morning and describe the flock he saw on his way into the show, and I told him, there are no turkeys in Dauphin County. You got to keep that a secret.
Right.
But he let the cat out of the bag, saying there was about 35, 40 birds in this flock. And
did he give you a GPS coordinate where he saw these birds?
No, he's a good NWTF membership. He usually, indicates a county, and that's the best I'm going to get out of him.
All right.
I'm from Clearfield County, and that's the best I will give you as a description.
Take 2 lefts at the White Barn, and you'll be there.
You'll be there.
Turn left at the pine tree.
we got a chance to go up last year to the Stony Valley banquet, and boy, top notch. Not only do you guys have like some of the best silent raffles and awesome games, the camaraderie and the sportsmanship there was. It was the first banquet I had attended, and to be honest with you, it was quite organizational wise. It was probably the best one I've ever been to.
Well, I'm fortunate in Pennsylvania to go to a dozen or more banquets a year, and I do this show,
right.
And then after this show, I go to Nashville to our national convention. One thing that stands out in my mind, it's family.
Yep.
Yes.
Whether it's a local banquet or this show or all the way at Nashville, when you have a huge venue like Opryland, it still feels like family.
Yeah.
And I see the same people. They talk about their family. I talk about mine. That's the way I feel in the NWTF. It's a family organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time that we walk down to the booth here or go to one of the Jake's Field Days, things like that.
Or the banquet.
Yeah, when we walk in, it's all handshakes and hugs, man. Come on in, and we love supporting you guys. Up at Kinsey's, the NWTF has a really amazing BB gun indoor trailer.
Right, the Take Aim trailer.
Yeah, we've been helping with that quite a few times, and I tell you what, the kids that walk up to that and get to shoot the BB guns some of them have never done it before, and some of them have, and it doesn't matter. They all walk away with a smile and get to learn something, and it warms my heart because we get to work with the kids all day.
Absolutely.
What I mean?
And, it doesn't take much to get a smile on a kid's face to keep you coming back as a volunteer.
Yeah.
And that's what these guys that show up every day for this show. 9 days is a long show.
It is, yeah.
And they'll stand here all day, and we're giving away free Jake's memberships. Kids up to age 17, we're giving them free memberships at the show.
Good.
It's usually a $10 membership. They're free here. The state chapter's paying for those. In addition, we're going to draw one of those kids for a Jake's hunt in Clearfield County.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
hosting that. And then we're going to give them a shotgun as well.
Oh, my gosh.
So one of these Jakes is coming away with a spring gobbler hunt and a shotgun.
What's the lower limit on? What's the age limit on that, Jake?
You decide.
I mean, does a guy I know qualify for that?
He's asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, we go up to 17. So
No great beards, bud.
Dead giveaway.
You shave the beard and start dressing a little younger, we'll put you in the raffle.
I'll start dressing younger, but the beard is not going to get shaved.
Okay, well, you're out.
I'm out.
Just speaking in turkey hunting in general, we'll take just a step back. It's such a personal level type of hunt because the birds can respond back to you. You can talk to them and interact with them. And the look on a kid's face whenever they shoot their first deer is nothing more powerful than that. There's something different when a kid gets a turkey and can pick that turkey up and interact with it. And it's just quite amazing.
I do a lot of youth hunts.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that first gobble in the morning starts the elation on their face lights up, and every gobble just builds on that. And if we go home empty-handed, it's the same. There's smiles there. Now, killing the bird, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go out and look at that bird and you start smoothing the feathers and you see that iridescent glow in those feathers, he's hooked.
Is there anything else that I can't think of anything else in life that actually puts a smile on the face of a kid longer than a good hunting trip with good people.
Yes, and you know what? You hit the nail on the head. Good people.
Yeah.
The people I interact with in the conservation world and the hunting world are the salt of the earth.
Yeah.
They're the people that I want to hang around with, but it's the people that the kids should hang around with. They're perfect examples. They're role models, and that's what we're out there doing. I never have to worry about somebody misbehaving, because they're hunters. They already have their ethics, their morals in place. I trust them. It's a perfect combination to connect these hunters with the kids.
Yeah,
makes a lifetime memory for them.
If there's guys out there of any age, but there's a lot of older hunters out there that would like to keep traditions alive in Pennsylvania, conservation alive in Pennsylvania. How can they come to you and help with some of these youth hunts versus help with conservation with NWTF? Where can they go and find out about you guys? They get a hold of you and guys and help out.
Well, any member of the NWTF is part of the family, as we said. They'll get the Turkey Country magazine, which explains all our programs. But we also produce Turkey Talk, which is Pennsylvania's magazine. And actually, I'll brag on it. It's the best state magazine in the country.
Oh,
we've won awards for it, and that is full of opportunities. We would love to have somebody step up and say, put me to work.
Yeah.
And we will have something for them, because we run so many youth events, we run so many conservation events, and we do so much habitat work. There's never a time we're not going to put a volunteer to work and match them up with what they're good at.
And it's not just turkey hunting. At these youth field days, like we said about archery, we were throwing hatchets, teaching about trapping. I took the kids fishing with Steve Shireman's daughter.
Right.
We ran the pond up there catching bluegills all day. So if you get a chance to come out and take your kids, take your neighbors' kids, whatever the case may be, to an NWTF, like a youth field day, if you will. There's something for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, Steve makes calls and teaches kids how to turkey call, and they have a competition just afterwards indoors.
That's great.
So much fun with
that is fun.
Some of these top guys in the industry that know their turkey hunting, and they turn around and do a blind listening test. And believe it or not, some kids that have never turkey called before win it.
Yeah. The kids are naturals.
Yes.
I've run into so many kids, you hand them a turkey call, and they put it in their pocket, and then they make a turkey call with their voice that you're thinking, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
They listen and learn a lot quicker than I do.
Yeah, I'm a little bit harder to teach these days. No, I do it my way.
No.
That's what we sell. Nope.
How do people get, if I want to be a part of the NWTF, I'm not a member, how do I make that first contact?
Well, at the show here, we have a great membership special. Normally a membership is $35, and for your $35 you get the national magazine, Turkey Country, you get the state magazine, Turkey Talk. You are now offered our conservation seed program, our subsidy seed program to do your own habitat. At the show, that $35 gets you all of that, and we'll give you a $25 Bass Pro gift card.
Oh, nice.
So, and we are only miles away from the nearest Bass Pro shop, which also is now good at Cabela's as well, and we're, about 45 minutes away from a Cabela's.
Not even an hour yet.
Yep.
And now that's for $35. You get that $25 Bass Pro gift card. For another $15, we have a raffle going on. We're giving away our gun of the year, which is a Benelli M2 in Bottomlands camo.
We'll take a picture of that. Check
It's
that
got
out.
a Tacticam camera on it. We also have a Howa 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, I'm looking at it now.
Yes,
and rolling.
It's painted as an American flag.
I love it.
And it's got a Quigley Ford 5 to 20 power custom scope. So whoever wins that rifle goes home, develops the best load they can, sends in the information to Quigley Ford, and they will build the scope for that rifle and that load. And you will sight it in at 200, and your 300, 400, up to 1,000-yard hash marks are perfect.
Wow.
So the scope alone on that rifle is $1,500. So
I'm speechless.
Catfish's head just exploded, folks.
I don't generally have nothing to say, but I'm looking at this rifle, and Where do I sign up?
Yeah.
And then it has to be sitting on an Orca 75-quart cooler, this third-place prize. So those 3 prizes will be given away Sunday at the end of the show. You don't need to be present to win. We'll call the winner, and we'll find a way to get them the product. So we're excited about that. And again, we're giving away the youth memberships, the $10 youth memberships, and one of those kids is going to have a youth turkey hunt in Clearfield County at my camp.
That's going to be awesome.
And they'll walk away with a shotgun.
What a great opportunity.
If you guys can't get down here to do all that, I'm sure you can jump over onto the NWTF's website, and you can join there, because not only supporting the kids on the youth field days, a lot of people don't realize, and I'm not going to get much into it, you can listen to it on the back catalog last year when we talked to NWTF, the conservation efforts at NWTF are nobody, I don't think anybody out there really understands that you have biologists and people working for you at the top levels of thought processes and tanks.
We are one of the few conservation, well, I'll tell you that we are the only conservation organization in Pennsylvania that has a direct relationship with the Game Commission.
And you're even right across from them.
Yep.
We're right across the aisle from them right here, but we meet with them. We sit down with them in their headquarters in June every year, and we discuss the turkey management plan, the habitat plans. They listen to us, we listen to them. It's a partnership, unlike any in the United States. I mean, I know there's 49 other states out there that would love to have that relationship with their state game commission.
But we're the only state that does it, that is big enough in hunting and fishing where we have to separate them out too.
Yes,
we do. Absolutely.
We have a tradition in Pennsylvania that continues with a separate game and fish commission, both exclusively funded by license.
Right.
Yep.
There's no general tax funds that go to either agency. They're supported by license, and for the Game Commission, it's oil, mineral, gas, and timber.
Correct.
And the sportsmen have paid for that, and we have 1.5 million acres of game lands in Pennsylvania. I just talked to a fellow from Alabama who couldn't believe that in Pennsylvania you could walk out your door and within 20 miles be on the game lands and hunt for free. Didn't have to pay a membership, anything. So we're very fortunate.
We're very blessed.
Yes, we are. We are blessed.
But that partnership with the NWTF is invaluable for us. And we have spent in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania state chapter of the NWTF has spent over $6.5 million in habitat funding.
Yeah.
Every year we have a budget of $130,000 to $150,000 we spend exclusively on habitat, and the rest of our budget goes to outreach for kids and women and wheel-in sportsmen.
And that's all here in Pennsylvania, folks.
Yes.
If you guys want to go, I mean, we could talk for hours about turkey relocation programs. Like, I can't. So go on the NWTF's website and check them out. You can just learn, educate yourself, get involved. Whether it wants to be for conservation or help the kids, both of them are absolutely wonderful. But if you get yourself a membership, you're part of it. So that's the first step. Bucky was saying, just join, and you're going to be part of the family. So, Ralph,
and I like you saying family. That was important.
Thanks, Ralph.
We appreciate
your time, bud.
We call it brotherhood, but it is family.
Yeah,
it is.
We consider it a big family. We love turkey hunting, but we love the outdoors.
So what are you waiting for, everybody?
Yeah.
Join up.
Rutten River's absolutely proud to be part of your family, man. We love supporting you guys.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ralph. Hey, everybody. It's Uncle Buck. I'm back here with Uncle Catfish.
What's up, guys?
Catfish, I know yesterday we tried to travel the world.
Yeah.
I need to take us on another trip.
Well, we just talked to like NWTF, which are some of the best guys in the organization, and they're local. We know those, and we like to go into their banquets, like we said. But you're right. I mean, I love hunting at home. But last year's trip to Canada was pretty amazing. Where are we going to go this year?
Let's just go straight north this year instead of going a little west and then north.
Well, we'll get lost. Do you know anybody?
We'll just go. I think so. I just met FX Maurice.
What's up, FX?
Hey guys.
Otherwise known as Francois Xavier Maurice, but
Nice.
we'll call him FX. That is so cool, man.
Thanks.
And he is representing the entire province of Quebec, if you will. And we've just spent 5 minutes getting to know him. And we want you guys to know him too, because he's got some things to tell you.
So tell me where, if I felt like grabbing some of my R2 guys and headed north to Quebec, there's a lot to offer.
Well, we have like 340 outfitters up there in Quebec. So working for the Federation, I'm here to help people choose their trip. I'm not here to sell somebody in particular, but you can go 10 hours away from PA, or you can go 20 hours away. And usually fishing goes up as you go up north, but there's some excellent offerings down south that people, like these guys in front of us, they're offering nice walleye, nice pike, and it's a drive-in. So it's not that far out. It's very accessible.
You could leave Pennsylvania in your truck and literally just drive right there.
Exactly. And for people like crazy bush guys like you.
Yeah, man.
Well, there's fly-in lodges also in Quebec, which are still very popular. And, you know, taking the old beaver with a piston engine to go catch those big pike up north, it's one trip
you're talking my language.
Should do.
Yeah. And they're big too, right?
Oh, yeah. We get the 20 to 25-pound, 50-inch fish up there because there's no fishing pressure in northern Quebec. It's just a couple people every year. Some camps, they'll offer you a lake. You're alone on the lake. There's nobody else. If you're having fun, nobody comes to hug your boat.
Right.
There's just you. And there's also excellent guides in Quebec. We got a lot of lodges offering American plan with the food and the guide. Guides live on the lake, so they know those little secrets that are hard to get to when you just fish a week out of the year.
Sure. No, absolutely. If somebody wanted to come up there, fishing in Quebec, anywhere in Quebec, what kind of gear would they need to bring with them? Now, I know that a lot of the lodges probably have some stuff for you to use or whatever, but like boots, raincoats, like what kind of stuff does Canada kind of require on a day-to-day?
Well, Canada, the weather is very changing, so of course a good rubber suit is good for the rain.
Yep.
Make sure to bring some long johns because sometime even in the July you get some cold spells.
Yeah.
Not every time. I mean, it's 80 degrees sometime and you're fishing and your belly's out and you're having a good time. And bug net in June is very important because of course we're in the north, so there's lots of gnats and mosquitoes. And rubber boots are a must because you can have your shoes, but you're stuck in the boat.
Right.
So if you want to be a little bit more versatile, boots really help to get around.
Like a good muck boot.
Good mucks, and high up to your knee is good because then you're not scared to fill them every time you get out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I absolutely loved Canada. I can't wait to go back. I have not ever in my lifetime fished in the Quebec Providence, but I think it should be on our bucket list, Buck.
I don't see how we can not put it on our bucket list. We've already been to Canada once. I've got the fever. I want to go somewhere where I haven't seen before.
Imagine this. So we talked to the
win-win.
We talked to CNC, the dove hunting guys from Argentina.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be awesome to go to Argentina and then northern Quebec in the same year? You would cover just about everything that they got.
As ABC Sports says, we would be spanning the globe.
I like it.
Well, you guys can even cover the Arctic Circle in that year.
Get out of here, FX.
Now that caribou is done, most outfitters up north, they're offering Arctic char, salmon, lake trout, and big brook trout, some of them even anadromous like salmon.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit further out of the way. It's bigger planes to get there, longer time, but it's just crazy up there. You got Inuits, you got polar bears, muskox, seals. It's another trip.
The ultimate adventure.
You just said Arctic char. That's a new fish that you just told me about today.
So beautiful.
And I need to stop there, and we need to say something, folks. Look at the internets right now.
You could hashtag Arctic char and see how beautiful they are on Instagram.
Check these beautiful fish out. I think that's a bucket list species for me.
I think that's a bucket list species for a lot of people. You have to go quite a ways away to get one of those, but they are a phenomenal looking fish.
I imagine they don't call them Arctic char for nothing,
no,
catfish.
No. And so if some of these fly-in camps up north, where would we go to? Where would we drive to from Pennsylvania, or can we fly like right from where would we fly into to start? Before we take the Piper Cubs out, where would we go into?
Well, most people, when we used to drive up to Leaf River Lodge for the caribous and now for the fishing, well, we fly out of Montreal, so it's really close to home. You're not going to get lost because it's big roads and highways. It's very accessible. They pick you up in Montreal. They'll fly you up to Coudjouac, which is a very northern place in Quebec. And then from Coudjouac, you'll take a otter or a beaver float plane all the way up to the lodge and over there, you're taken care of.
Yeah, and then after that, you can kick back and enjoy what the wilderness was supposed to be like.
Yep,
because it's out there, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
it is out there. I fell in love with the North 6 years ago when I started to guide, and I'm still crying about the caribou hunt being lost.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So what is it, on a personal note, what is it that's your favorite thing to fish for up there?
I'm a pike guy.
Yeah.
I know, like, in Quebec, people like to eat fish, and walleye is very popular, but trophy pike is my thing. When I guided in Broadback Fishing Camp, that was my thing. You got off the plane, you wanted big pike, you get in my boat, and we go. Because they're just so voracious. They're violent.
predators.
They're beautiful.
They are.
Yeah.
They're the northern
you can't catch a
alligators
big
without
pike
legs.
and
them,
not feel it.
Them and muskie, they're like freshwater barracuda. And
Muskies being much more south, we only get them close to towns like Montreal and Gatineau near Ottawa. Pike, they go all the way up to James Bay, and they just get
they're cold
beautiful.
water, aren't they?
They are.
It's amazing they can grow that big in such extreme cold conditions.
Well, they're an apex predator.
Yeah.
You know,
Eating
I don't
everything.
think anything really bothers them, do they? Maybe the polar bears, but that'd be about it.
I think polar bears scare pretty much everybody.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Buck. Well, let's run around. If people want to find out more about how to get up to some of these outfitters in Quebec and stuff like that, where can they jump over and on the internet or whatever to find out about you?
Well, I'm representing the Quebec Outfitters Federation, so we have a website that's hunting/fishing.quebec.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on there, you can choose the species of fish you want, the region you want to fish, and then you'll see all the offerings that we can do, like American plan, European plan, guides, no guides, fly-in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to offer, and with 340 outfitters, there's a trip for anybody.
Right.
There's high-end, there's low-end, there's alone in the woods.
Yeah. Take the family and all the kids.
Yep, exactly.
As Ryan calls them, his kickables.
Yep.
That's well said.
Past fishing, do you guys do, on a side note, because something I want to do a lot, do you guys use a lot of snowmobiles up north?
Oh, yeah. Well, now that's a thing. Like outfitters that do fishing in the summer, they're free in the winter. So more and more we're getting snow machine tours, and snow machine tourism is getting really big.
Yeah.
In my area in Saguenay, we're especially known for it. We even have sled dogs.
Sled dogs?
Ooh.
And then in L'Abbé area, it's a very local thing, but we have ice fishing in the sea in 500 feet of water for cod and redfish.
Wait, back
And
up.
that's-
Wait, look at him.
wait a
I knew
minute.
Buck was going to say back up.
Ice fishing, salt water.
Yeah,
500 feet of water.
500 feet of water.
How cold, number one, how cold does it have to be to get that salt water, number one, to start freezing? And then it's 500 foot of water.
Yeah, we get about 18 inches of ice in general in the winter. And we got to get a big freeze in December. That really helps to start the season kickoff.
Yeah.
But like right now, it started maybe 3 weeks ago, and we got 2 months of fishing in. You got these big villages. Some people actually rent little ice shacks and tents. Me and my friends, we have our own little shack, and we go way out there, and we catch cod like crazy.
I know who we're going to go see.
Yeah, we've met a new best friend.
We're just going to
Catfish.
show up on Friday and be like, remember us?
Uh-huh.
we brought the drinks,
Yep.
and I mean Kool-Aid.
You guys are more than welcome because I'm glad when people like you get an interest in Quebec. More people need to see my beautiful province and the wilderness that we have to offer.
It's still so here's the thing. I think that you probably still have many fish up there, pike, that probably live their entire lives and probably never see a fisherman or a boat or whatever. And there's so much bodies of water, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, some lakes you can get 1 or 2 groups in the summer, so those fish aren't bothered. They're eating naturally like they've been for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And when you get there, well, they're just more than eager to bite your lure, give you the fight of your life.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you talking with us.
I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, FX.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Take care.
God bless you.
Uncle Buck's
Have a
going to
good
be
show.
smiling for days
am
now.
stoked. My head just exploded.
We just got all that gear for Canada last year, so technically we're set up to go.
Let's go.
Of course.
You're driving.
We'll drive.
We do pretty good at that.
Yeah, pretty good team. All righty. Thank you, Francois.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate
Have fun.
All right, guys, we're back, and I come over to the Outfitter Hall. Miss Lacey, she bird dogged for me, which is what a term we use for finding me some really cool people in the industry to talk to. I was on a quick break with Buck from Running Around this morning. We came over to New Zealand Horn and Antler Safaris, and it's Hunter Dane, is it not?
Yep. How y'all doing today?
Now hold on. When I hear New Zealand, I don't hear that accent. What is going on here? That's messing with me.
Throwing everybody off. Truth be told, I'm from the Carolinas. I make a living guiding all over the world, and I've been with New Zealand Horn and Antler Safaris for 7 years. So
okay, that
always
makes
throws
sense.
people off. They come talk to us in the booth. They're like, wait a second, this old redneck in the booth, he's not from New Zealand, but it's my second home over there. I spend close to 6 months a year over there living, and it's my other mother, family, all over there.
Yeah.
So.
You have quite an adventurous life. I only had a small piece of that back in 97, 98, but you don't just guide in New Zealand. You're all over the world then.
Yeah, I wanted to find a way to make a living hunting. And as you know, this is a very small industry. And if you're not the big wig outfitter, even if you are, there's not a whole lot of money in it. It's
right.
more of a labor of passion,
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, and I'm 30 years old and single as can be. And, I don't have anything to tie me down at the moment, so I've been guiding for the last 9 years.
I think you're married to the outdoors. You can see it.
Yeah, it sounds like
if you get the meat hunter, you can tell that it seems like being inside here is even wilting you. You want to be outside.
Always trying to get a little sun every time. Sun shining and smiles on.
Well, before I get into the outfitter business, we actually saw Hunter and you guys here last year, and I didn't get the chance to talk to you. What's the story behind cutting your hair off, boss?
Oh, well, shoot. Truth be told, I was sick of getting smacked every bar I walked into, so time to change it up and not be recognized. No. I started growing it for my aunt who had breast cancer and lost all of her hair. And truth be told, she grew her hair back faster than I could grow mine. So it was long enough to donate. And, it was hard to part with it, I tell you that much.
Yeah.
But I figured it was time, a new year, new me, and kind of change it up with all the clients we have this year and see how it goes.
That's pretty cool.
I walked by, I didn't even recognize it. And you pulled the sleeves up, and I saw a couple of the artworks, and I went, "Yep, that is him. That's him from last year." So, can you tell us a little bit about hunting New Zealand? What's going on in New Zealand? How do we get there, and what's going on?
Well, we're a small niche exclusive operation. We don't take any more than 40 to 45 hunters a year, no more than 4 hunters or 4 couples in camp at a time. We're bringing you right into our small ranch-style home, sitting at the dinner table. We're getting the focus on y'all while you're here so you can get the true New Zealand experience.
Sounds like family, right?
It is. It truly is. From the time that you get there to the time that you leave, you better bring your sense of humor because we love to have fun, and that's what it's about. I've worked in big hunting camps before where there's 30 clients and there's 30 guides, and you don't know half the people that are in there. As soon as you harvest your animal, you're out the door.
Gone.
Yeah, so regardless of whether the hunt ends on the 2nd day or the 9th day, we're always doing something. You can sit on the couch at home while you're with us in New Zealand. We've got something for you to do.
I can't imagine that going through the countryside in New Zealand has not enough beautiful country to look at.
Man.
I mean, I've only honestly seen like Google photos of it, and I believe they've actually filmed some shows in New Zealand in the countryside, including like parts of Lord of the Rings was filmed there, and some of those amazing countryside shots.
Yeah.
I can't imagine waking up and seeing that. Like, it's paradise.
Must be tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shucks. There isn't a better place in the world to have a cup of coffee in the morning, I tell you. And the cool thing about New Zealand is every 100 miles in any direction that you go, the scenery completely changes, whether it's rainforest or the Rocky Mountains, or you'll have part of the Wyoming Desert in one place, or Nassau, Bahamas a little bit in the North Island. It's just constantly changing every about 70 to 100 miles. So when you're doing a hunt with us, especially for like the chamois, tar, and the red stag, you get to see a big chunk of the country. To where we do the red stag on the East Coast where our house is based, and then we go to the West Coast for the tar, and a little bit of the chamois done in the center of the island. So you get the full experience coming and hunting the big 3 and seeing all of what the country has to
So
offer.
in your booth, you have a tar and a chamois, which are incredible
I was going to
creatures.
say I've never seen the char before.
The tar?
The tar before. I've never seen the tar before. And,
Yeah.
I was quite impressed. Like it
They're
looks
awesome.
like it would be hard to hunt, actually.
We accommodate to everybody. As you know, most folks, unfortunately, don't come into a little bit of money that they can enjoy until between 45 and 65.
Right.
So if you're a young cat wanting to come out and get into the wilderness stuff, we can take you into certain areas. If you're a little longer on the tooth or want a little less impact of a hunt, we have pre-scouted areas to be able to accommodate to any type of client that comes along.
But so these chamois and tar, they are the U.S. equivalent to the goat and to the Rocky Mountain. Not Rocky Mountain sheep.
We
right?
call it a poor man's sheep hunt,
Okay.
because with a tar, you get the same experience as doing a mountain hunt for a sheep or a goat, but a fraction of the price.
Okay.
So, truth be told, like we mentioned earlier, I guide all over the world 11 months out of the year. And I told somebody yesterday, I sure do hope there's tar in heaven, because if I make it up there, I'm going to hunt them jokers every day until the end of time.
I saw one the other year at the taxidermy shop, and I was just like, what is that, and where can it be found? I was amazed. I never heard of one until a couple years ago.
And looking at your pictures around the booth, it looks like you guys do a little bit of bird hunting.
We do. We're allowed 50 birds per person per day. Wow. The ducks are a little bit different than the ducks in the Americas, because those ducks in New Zealand don't migrate. So they're indigenous to the island. So after the opening weekend of duck season, it becomes a little harder to hunt. You've got to rearrange your decoy spread, maybe change a different call or something like that. But the opening weekend's when you want to go. That's We've got a 7-person duck blind, which they call a mai, oddly enough, over there. And we go and get in that, and we take all the sandwiches and the fudge for the day, and we stay out there all day and hoop and holler and cut jokes and shoot plenty of shells at birds. If we could hit everything that we were shooting at, gosh, it would be a huge bag. But we tend to hit about 75% of what we're shooting, so we do okay.
We'll drop that average if we bring Stevie and Ryan down.
Yeah. And it also looked like you had some wallaby hunting as well.
Yes. So that's just something we add on.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I missed that.
The pictures.
Oh,
really?
Miniature kangaroos.
Yeah, they're like little tiny mini kangaroos.
Yep. So they plague the country, certain parts of the country, just like the hogs in Texas or the coyotes out here. And that's just something we add on to. If you bring your kids out there, we let you kind of introduce them to hunting by bopping a wallaby or two, or we get a little time at the end of the hunt. We'll go out and we'll shoot a couple of them, and we take them all to the pet food factory. So we'll take them and they'll process them into dog and cat food. And truth be told, that's actually how I make a little bit of my fuel money to start the hunts every year. I'll go and do a couple night shoots, put a big old crash helmet on with a spotlight, and I'll do like a 7 p.m. to 10 a.m. and bopping wallabies. And I'll get me a load of maybe 2 nights I can do 150, 200, and take them in. And they get turned into dog and cat food and fuels a little bit of our business.
Now, do they repopulate pretty quickly like hogs do then?
Oh, yes. So typically there's one joey a year. A good mom might have twins, but so they every year they're consistently putting out another joey, and they repopulate incredibly, and they live in the bush, so they're hard to get out and get them. So
I want to just go hunt those now.
Yeah. Any trout?
Yes, some of the best trout fishing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Roughly 10 to 30 pound brown trout.
Oh, wow.
You've got the option for heli fishing, where we'll stick you in a helicopter, take you to a really remote river in the mountains where most trout die of old age, and they've never seen a fly.
Yeah,
so it's
crazy.
The fishing over there. Fishing industry is actually a lot bigger than the hunting industry over there.
Yeah. It's a big fly fishing area, right?
Oh, huge fly fishing area. You got rivers and streams, and that's something we typically do. So you come on a 5 or 10 day hunt. We get done. We have a little time. We'll go down to one of our rivers, one of our honey holes, and take us a little couple of bourbons and sandwiches and sit down and fish for the day.
Now,
Sounds like heaven to me.
I never really knew this until like the other year. Most of the wild game and game species and trout are not native to the island.
Nope. When Captain James Cook founded the island, there was nothing but birds and lizards. So everything has been either gifted or introduced by different countries. So the only place in the world where the Himalayan tar exists free range is Nepal. So in the Himalayas over there, and they were a gift from that area, I believe in the late 1800s for the tar. And so, like I said, everything's been introduced and gifted in. So the only 2 places actually in the world that you can hunt Himalayan bull tar free ranging is either in Nepal, where they originated, or New Zealand.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. It was. It's a cool story about the Arapura ram, one of the animals that people come over to hunt. When Captain James Cook founded the island, as we said, there was nothing on the island. When he left England, he did not have these animals on the boat. But when he discovered New Zealand, he had these sheep on the boat. So he let them out in case anybody shipwrecked or made a bad decision, had to stay there for food. There's no captain's log in any of his diaries where he picked up these animals. So they're the oldest living genetic of sheep in the world, and their lineage can't be traced back to anywhere.
Ain't that some stuff?
That's crazy.
Only place they exist now is in New Zealand. So
wow,
That's cool.
That's. How does there's some world-class taxidermy in this room that we're sitting in from all over the world. How does taxidermy work coming out of New Zealand? Is there taxidermists there that will do it and then like ship it back to the States, or is it something you'd have to bring back with you?
So truth be told, there's no disease in New Zealand whatsoever. So truth be told, if you had the time in country and you came on your hunt and you were going to spend the 2-3 weeks touring, we could prep it up and you could take it back on your carry-on back. Because there's no disease, there's no trouble whatsoever getting your trophies back. Okay. Craig, the owner, was a taxidermist for 15 years. So although we don't mount your animal for you, we do all of our expediting in-house. So once you harvest your animal, Craig's going to be turning the ears, eyes, nose, and lips. He's going to be salting and drying your cape, and then he's going to be bleaching your skull. And then we build you a shipping crate to put it in. At that time, we then send it to Floor & Fauna or Coppersmith, one of the customs brokers, and within 3 months, we guarantee that you have your animal or your taxidermist has your animal upon you leaving the country.
That's crazy.
That's great.
So much different than some other parts of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly
I've heard some horror stories for other parts of the world. So that's great.
There are places here in North America that it's hard just to take like a mountain lion across state lines.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
That's pretty amazing. Do you want to go to New Zealand?
I do. He said fallow deer, so that's
He's been
my
looking
bucket
for,
list.
How many years have you been looking for that, though? Lacey's
Okay.
bucket list is a fallow deer.
Fallow deer and ocellated turkey.
Well, that's Guatemala. We got to go.
Awesome. No, they'll be. So here's a quick little deal about the fallow deer. It's the only animal in the world that has an Adam's apple. So they've got a big old Adam's apple right underneath, and they when they rut, they kind of sound similar to a pig. They'll snort. So they're a really cool animal to hunt, especially during the rut.
Wow. I have spoken to people here for 4 years. I'm not cutting anybody under the rug here, but Hunter, your knowledge is pretty impeccable, and I think that it would be great to share the duck blind and hear more of these stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
shoot. Come on. You just wanting that fudge now. You're brown nosing to get some of our New Zealand fudge.
We'll be bringing the honey buns with us.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. No, please. It's like the Christmas day. All the New Zealanders, that's one of the biggest times of the year that they hunt. Aside from the wild stag roar is opening day of duck season. Every farmer, everybody's out in the duck blind that time of year, and it's a hoot and holler.
Down.
It does. It's like Pennsylvania, the first day of deer season.
Right,
Yeah.
Everybody shuts down, grabs their shotguns, knocks the dust off of them, and away they go.
Nice.
Well, it sure does look like heaven on earth. Hunter, if they wanted to find out more about how to come hunting with you in New Zealand, how would they find you?
We're right across from the Chevy Silverado display. So there's a big, bright banner with the mountain range, really inviting booth. Can't promise that I'm going to make you smile. You might laugh at me from the way I look and the way I talk, but come on by and let me tell you some lies.
I was half expecting for you to sound like Thor from Australia or someone I come over here.
Not Thor anymore. The hair is gone.
Yep.
Somebody else is wearing it now.
Well, so do they have a website?
Yes, you can visit us at hunthornandantler.com. We have a lot of videos. We bring a camera guy out from the Outdoor Channel every year, Grady Rawls, and he films all of our hunts, and he puts them on YouTube, has them all over our website. All of our prices, our package prices are on the website. Like I said, we're exclusive small niche company, and we really, truly love what we do. So if you're interested or have any questions, just come on by, and we'll tell you a hoot and a holler.
That's great.
On a personal note, between me and Deke, we've been looking for an eighth person at Rutten River Pursuits podcast. And, dude, you're a natural talking on the radio, man.
Pretty comfortable behind this mic.
He's
I
like
like it.
Dan from Black Horse Knives, a one-take wonder. I have nothing to edit. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Thank you,
100%.
man.
Absolute pleasure, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
stopping by.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all get bored, come back and see us.
We'll do.
All right.
All right, guys, it is day 7. And we're down in the call hall. You might be able to hear some in the background, and I'm sitting with Buck, Ryan, and DK. And you'll never believe who I ran into. Believe it or not, we talked to him last year, and it's been a huge year for him.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Billy's with us, Billy Campbell.
What's up, brother?
Billy,
And,
how are you, bud?
Appreciate you guys very much.
Yeah?
There's
I've missed you a bunch. I just want you to know.
There's not many guys in life, and I don't say this very often.
Not at all.
Almost never.
Yeah.
I don't normally have beard envy from anybody, but Billy comes down here, and I'm like, dude.
Which color?
I'm getting there myself. Yeah. And but Billy was here last year, and with a few new friends of ours, and Billy actually had a really great year. Dude, you did a lot this year. I don't even know where to start, but one of the things that was cool to me was you guys blew up, got your own podcast kicking, and I'd like to talk about that.
Thanks to you guys, man. I appreciate the opportunity to be out here. You know, for us, a couple Texas rednecks, to be honest with you, to get up this part of the country is super cool.
I visited a couple Pennsylvania rednecks, but yeah.
I mean, you think about it, everybody talks about, kind of sees Texas as a gun-toting free state, and you don't think about maybe the Northeast as being such the outdoorsman, and that's completely untrue. I mean, just look at the size of the show put on by the NRA each year, and I realized that last year, so I was really thankful Big Frig asked me to come back and hang out in their booth this year, and yeah, when we ran into you guys last year, I was super stoked sitting down and listening to how you guys just essentially party every Thursday on your podcast. It's such a great conversation.
That's pretty much the recipe.
I mean, if you're not enjoying the journey, right?
That's it.
But we had a bunch of people asking for more consistent conversation. So our niche, Dennis, Dr. Duck, and I, all the waterfowl stuff you see pretty much up until several years ago would be private stuff. And, and most of us growing up, we didn't have the opportunity to have really cool private land to go hunt. So we were forced to learn on public, and that's the way we did it. And Dennis did it. And when we started waterfowl hunting, we did it together. And we found very quickly that there's a desire to have a lot of public conversation out there. And so we thought, what better way to do it with a podcast? And you guys, just the opportunity to sit down with you and see how good you are at what you do. And I'm not saying, I mean, we suck. But
hey,
I love it, man.
But we enjoy
I told you
it.
we got them fooled, man. We got them fooled. We almost look like we know what we're doing.
It's a good time, and Will was a tremendous help back and forth, knowing, what equipment we need to get to be successful and sharing that information, that conversation with other people. So I can't thank you guys enough for kind of helping us get the ball rolling. We grew pretty quick, and I don't know what the numbers are supposed to be, but we're over 100,000 downloads, and we didn't do it every week. It was just a once a month deal, but now it's a once a week deal because.
Here it is. It gets addicting, though. It is like poker night with your buddies on Thursday, because when you do get to sit down and get those thought processes out, sometimes that stuff in the hunting world can jumble up in your head, and the only time you get to talk about it is in the truck on the way back and forth to the duck blind and things like that. So if you can sit down, once a week, once every couple of weeks, and get all them thoughts out, it actually helps me clear my mind every week. Just sit down and hang out with my brothers and talk about whatever, because it's sometimes some of the hunting and fishing stories that we have, it'll be like 6 months later, I'll be like, oh, Ryan, did I ever tell you? I forgot to tell you. Like, I saw a fisher over where we hunt pheasants.
It's amazing. When you sit down, and, we like to talk about it being a brotherhood, but when you sit down with a bunch of like-minded guys and gals, there is an endless supply of things to talk about. And it's stories, it's things that you've never considered, ideas will pop up. It's never ending.
I call it the duck blind with headphones and no shotguns. Yeah. Because it's just a hangout session.
I'll get just as many there as I would if I had the shotgun.
One problem I'm having, though, sitting around that table, is these guys are making me want to do other stuff I haven't done.
Yeah, he's spending money on new adventures.
So something
that's fun, though.
Oh, it is fun, but it gets. Then you lose that other thing you're into. You're sticking to bass fishing or something else, and.
Remember 2 years ago when you didn't think you had any free time?
Yeah. It's just more things to do. I love it, though. I wouldn't trade it for the world, though.
Yeah, I don't know how much money you've spent in ice fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Alone.
Ice fishing's fun now. Yeah. I never would have thought I'd ice fish.
I don't know how y'all do it. I used to fish a lot.
You drill a hole and you put it.
Oh, it's good. I'm trying to move around here and I'm tied down. You'd have to seen that to enjoy it, but I can't fish in the cold. I'll duck all day. I hate wearing gloves.
Yeah.
I think it muffles the call sound, and not to mention you can't grab anything. So I'll go through them freezing. Of course, it's not near as cold where we're at. We do travel and experience some cold temperatures, but I could not imagine fishing on it's not a sheet of ice. It's like a mattress of ice,
It
right?
is, yeah. And with the wind doesn't stop, it has nothing to block it. It just comes across that skillet full of ice, and it picks up more coldness, and it just slaps you in the face. And you're
I mean, why? Those fish are going to be there in the spring, ain't they?
It's
wise man right
it's
here.
guys that
It's a
love to be
wise
in the
man.
outdoors, and there ain't much else to do this time of year. Now, we still have like 2.5 weeks or something left of goose season. But, other than that, ice fishing's all we really got right now, unless you want to go out and do some coyote hunting. So
it just seems awfully cold.
I would rather go goose hunting than ice fishing. I would definitely do that. But sitting out here, laying here in 10 below weather too, you got to have some good boys with you to get you through that. Because if the birds aren't working and they're not around, you have to have good conversation.
That's right.
So I think podcasting is a lot of that. Is it really works if you have good quality and you have the right personalities. And dude, you guys were the right recipe for
Well,
that.
no, y'all do a super job at that, and we were just very fortunate to figure out really quick with our niche of public that you see so often. Dennis talks about it all the time. You see so often a group of young hunters that may or may not have had anyone bring them up in waterfowl hunting, but these kids they've got this incredible drive and initiative to, we're going to go out there and we're going to kill birds today.
Yeah.
And they may set up 40, 60, 70 yards from another group of guys that are very good at what they do, and these guys get mad at them historically, and they may create a bad experience altogether between the two, and it just doesn't work out. And for us, it's been a great opportunity to, there's a certain level of respect that I believe all outdoorsmen have for each other, for people, for animals, and for whatever reason, at that exciting moment in time,
it can go away.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a bad situation. So I really think Dennis has done a great job kind of bringing it to top of mind awareness to, hey, instead of being an ass, really, these young kids, invite them to hunt with you. Share some. I mean, who knows? The younger generation now is so advanced technologically. You may pick a trick up from them, or
they might teach you something.
Right. You never know, man. And whatever you can share with them, the impact that you get to have in that tiny bit of time, they can carry with them the rest of their lives. You have no idea what opportunity you have to have impact there.
I don't think there's ever been an opportunity to mentor where it's not a two-way street. There's always something to learn.
That's always. A great point. Yeah, great point. So we've just been very thankful to have the opportunity to share that conversation and get some great feedback from people that, we take a lot of direct messages. I know you guys do. Social media has become such a great tool for continuing that conversation when you're not talking like we are here today. And it's just, we're very thankful for that opportunity for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Billy said it right. If you guys get a chance and you're out in the field, and it could be anything. It could be deer hunting, squirrel hunting, whatever. There is no game or any fish. You're in my fishing spot. There's no reason to get frustrated or upset, because that person next to you probably loves what you're doing and what they're doing just as much as you do. So, get down there and ask them, man. Here's the crazy thing. Like, through that, I have met some of the most amazing hunters and friends of my entire life because we ran into each other hunting the same area. If we would have been rude to each other, they wouldn't be my best friends today. It was a handshake, and who are you? You got permission, and great, let's hunt. And if you approach it that way, you may find a lifelong lasting friendship of you would have never had it had you had an attitude problem.
I want to tell a short, quick story. We all the time get the opportunity to hunt with other people, and we're very thankful for it. It doesn't always work out because the numbers, you know how it is. Mm-hmm. Maybe you got X amount of ducks, so you can only hide so many. But we ran into a guy scouting by himself. He was probably 22, 23 years old. And we found a spot very close to where he was thinking about coming, and we was like, hey, it was just me and Dennis that day.
Yeah.
Let's all three hunt together tomorrow. And we hunted together, and we only killed, we were 3 short of a 3-man limit, all green, just a hen or two. So it's a pretty good hunt, right?
Yeah.
But everything we killed was about from here to that wall, and
Really?
obviously I know these guys can't see, so everything we killed
That's
was
10
within.
yards or less.
Yeah, it was within 20 yards
man.
was the longest shot we had. And at the end of the deal, Dennis like, well, sorry we didn't kill a 3 man. He said, man, what are you talking about? I didn't even know we could work them ducks that close. I mean, it was.
That's
and
awesome.
he said this has been the best hunt I've ever been on.
Could you imagine just randomly running into 2 guys that want to ask you to hunt with them because you're hunting the same area, and it happened to be Dr. Duck and Billy, and the education you could get from that?
I don't know about that.
That's what you call the right place at the right time.
Now you need to start scouting people, not just the ducks. You got to scout the other hunters.
That's my plan. I can't imagine what it's like, but I'm hoping to find out one day. I'm going to be sneaking around.
But there's no reason to hide anything for hunting or fishing because somebody else is doing it somewhere.
You're exactly right.
So
Amen to that.
You are not the originator of it.
No.
I don't care who you are. Somebody else did it before you. And there's no reason why you're at the boat ramp after fishing for a day. I'll show somebody what I had on. It's no big deal to me. I'll come back the next day and still catch them.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Didn't we podcast in Lake Ontario in that storm that sank the Angler Gale type storm?
I took a picture of that lure and told the rest of the guys.
We were trying to lake trout fish up there, and this storm came in, and we were on a big boat, all of us. And boy, this storm threw that boat around like it was. I mean, you were holding on, and even if you don't get sick on the water, you were getting green. And
that was the day it's okay to get sick.
It was It was raining and cold, and I hear get the podcast equipment out. I don't know if we originated that. I think I don't know if somebody else has done that exactly in that situation, but I don't even know if we should have done that. It was actually just hold on and let's get back in.
We weren't captain in that ship.
Those Great
we were
Lakes
all right
could
to
turn into the ocean quick. I didn't know they could get like that. It was quick. So.
Big water and little duck boats ain't a good mix.
No.
What do you guys have coming up for 2019?
I appreciate you asking. We've had such a great experience working with our Realtree family and meeting some new folks and we did the 4 ducks, which was, and that's another example. We hunted 12 people in that video that day, and all of them we met that week.
Really?
A group of kids from Alabama, a group of kids from Arkansas, and we just, hey, we can fit you in here. Let's just have a good time.
Nice.
And it was opening weekend, and that film helped share, I think, some of the hard work, which is what we want to share with other people that goes into guys like us that hunt public all the time. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and every year, Dennis and I also take a vacation away from that work, and we only hunt private once a year. My son is stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington, and so it's created a neat situation where I can go hang with him, and we try to hunt. There's a facility up there, Eagle Lakes Lodge, some wonderful people, the Pine family, and some of those, they're just super folks, and so that's kind of like our duck vacation.
Yeah.
We get to sleep in a little bit.
A little duckcation.
Exactly, and we had film crew with us
what you did
this
there,
year.
bud.
Thanks.
Did you really?
And the Outdoor Channel, Realtree TV, they did the 4 ducks on that channel all week, a couple weeks ago, and then we're gonna release another one of our hunt there in Washington, kind of the duckcation.
Yeah,
as you say.
Duckcation,
So,
I like it.
and then we're going to get back to our public roots, and we've got a couple really neat films that'll come out again this fall, this season.
Awesome.
Well, how do our listeners find how to find your podcast?
Dr. Duck Waterfowl Podcast. We're not real savvy on. I think you just search it on iTunes.
Yeah.
Everywhere else they keep that kind of stuff, and it usually pops up. And I try to post the Fowl Hunter on Instagram, Dr._Duck on Instagram and Facebook, and we try and keep everybody notified of when new podcasts come out.
Yep. If you guys get a chance, go listen to it absolutely and support them. They're good friends of ours. They're doing it's worth a listen. It really is, because they're doing great things. It's
appreciate that, man.
There's a lot of small talk out there, but you guys have small talk with a purpose, and I like it. Thanks for keeping it real, Billy.
Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate all you guys taking time today.
Yep, absolutely, bud. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right, guys, we're going to keep running around here. I have a little thing to do up in the boat hall. If you look on Facebook Live, which you have to go back by now. But if you look on Facebook Live, I'm going to show you one of the boats that I look at that I'm looking at trying to purchase. Did I tell you about this?
Did you sign the papers already?
I didn't, but he took a pile of money off of it, and he's like, so what's up? And I went, that's what's up. And I was like, where's Lacey? And so I'm going to go talk to that dude because it's a pretty nice, it's a shallow water jet boat.
Good news.
It looks pretty nice.
Good news. I have a pen.
I have a backup pen.
Let's go get her done, bud.
If that one runs out of ink, I have one. We're good.
All right, on our way there.
Thanks,
again, Billy.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, guys, so we are here. We're in the call hall again, hanging out. We're right across, I guess, the way from GP calls, so you're probably going to hear some goose and duck calls going off before too long, but we ran into our old friend Mineral Bob.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
How are you, bud? You're
doing well.
You're here
fine.
at Apple Cracker Deer Feed.
Yes, sir. Booth 3805.
Nice, nice. So how's the show been going for you so far?
It's fair. I mean, I think we're doing good. Today and yesterday are really good. Now, tomorrow should be even better. That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I know we talked to you a little bit last year, but could you refresh our memory? What do you guys do at Apple Cracker?
All right. Apple Cracker is a apple-flavored molasses mix with corn, sunflowers, soybeans. Got all your oats, wheats, that kind of thing in for your deer. People use it for bear. People are using it for wild boar.
Okay.
Pretty much any wild game they seem like they're using it on. Now we have a block or we have a bag, 25-pound bag, 25-pound block.
But it's more than just an attractant, right? You could actually.
It's nutrition. It has a mineral
it's
mixed
supplemental,
in.
yeah.
So it's got 15% protein. So everything you need for your herd, it is in there. You don't need to worry about anything else.
Right.
And like I said, it's got a mineral in it. Mineral gets into the ground, so it keeps them coming back.
Yep.
Even if the feed's gone, they'll keep coming back till you get back there to freshen it up.
Yep.
Very good.
That's the main thing. Now at the show, of course, so everybody knows we're doing 4-pound bags, so they don't have to carry a big bag or a 25-pound block.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a deal on that. What, $6 for a 4-pound bag or 2 for 11?
I see you got a T-shirt here, so you're doing some apparel stuff too.
We got $10 a piece on a T-shirt.
That's
right
a
here.
good-looking logo too.
Yep.
I like that.
So they need, and I got some decals over there also that we've been giving away and some wristbands.
And the bag's open here out front, so that's free samples.
If you want to take a test of it.
Take a handful of that
There's been
for
a
the
few
road.
people that have been eating it here and there. They're all right until they hit the corn. It makes it a little rough on them, but
It's just a little harder to chew it up, but it's still, I mean, it tastes good.
yeah, everybody wants where's the milk at. So, but no, I think my own opinion, best feed on the market, best smelling feed on the market.
Oh yeah,
It does smell
you.
good.
There's
Take a
no
handful
denying
of
that.
it, and you do almost want to eat it.
Yeah.
The whole aisle actually up here, you can smell it when you
smell
turn
it.
the corner.
Yeah, the biggest thing to remember on the block, a lot of guys use a block so they don't have to go back in. It's soft. It's not a hard pressed block.
Okay.
So when you put it out, they can start eating on it right away. You don't have to wait till it breaks down or anything like some of the hard ones are. They're like a brick.
Okay, how does it hold up to the rain and stuff? Is that going to dissolve it?
No, it'll hold up fine. I've had it out for weeks with the rain. No problem at all. You'll get a little pieces will fall off, and then they just eat it anyway.
Sure.
So it's no big deal. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. It's got a preservative mixed in with it, so that helps.
Right.
Plus, our block has a handle. Nobody else has a handle on their block, so you can pick it up, carry 2 of them into the woods, no problem.
Out you go, drop her off.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
This is where I'll throw out the statement, make sure you check your regulations and if you're trying to use these as attractants, of course, make sure you're in an area where that's okay.
Right.
But I actually, as far as the block goes, springtime. As soon as the weather breaks, things start greening up. I'm throwing out the minerals and stuff in the springtime.
Yeah, which is right. That's when you want to do minerals. But the feed alone, even now with the weather, of course we haven't had a lot of snow and a lot of ice, but if we get a lot of snow and ice here next month or so, that's when you want to make sure you're feeding your deer if you can.
Help supplement their natural diet.
Yeah, because that's going to put a hurting on them this late in the season.
Yeah.
Especially with those with fawns.
Yeah.
So you want to keep doing that. And like you said, then the minerals, that's the other thing when it greens up.
Yep.
That's important. Yeah, so you have all that in there. So you don't have to worry about getting 2 or 3 different products. You got it all in one product. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, it'll work out good for you.
Hard to beat that. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time and talking with
No
us.
problem.
For the folks that can't make it down to the show, where can they find this stuff?
Go on our website, applecracker.com, and you can order it online, which is also on the website. You'll see a phone number on there. Call it up, and we'll ship it to you, the blocks or the bags.
Okay.
And we'll give you a good deal.
Very good.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Middle Bob, appreciate it. As always, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take care, bud.
I will. Have a good day.
See ya.